Hello, hello, Genial Gamer Gal here with my Nintendo 3DS games collection update for January 2020. It's been a little while since I've done a collection video, so I thought it was about time to gather my collection again and show off what I have so far. So let's get started. First, I'm going to start off with some launch edition games that I have. First is The Alliance Alive, and this is a JRPG. I have not busted this open yet, still sealed since the day I bought it, and I always put all my games in these plastic box protectors, especially since I keep my games in a storage tub. And the next few I'm going to do together because they are the Etrian series. So we have Etrian Odyssey Nexus, and this is still sealed. Haven't busted it open yet. This is Etrian Mystery Dungeon, and I'm not quite sure how these two fall in the Etrian series. I haven't played the Etrian really. And Etrian Odyssey 5 Beyond the Myth. This one I unboxed it, but I have not played it. So this is what I have so far in the Etrian series. And let me know what you think of the Etrian series. I haven't ever really dived into it yet. Hopefully I'll have some time. And the final launch edition is Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology. And I have the DS version, so I haven't busted this open yet. Can't remember the differences. I don't think there were major differences between the games, so I might just keep this sealed for right now, but I'm pretty happy to have it in my collection. Alright, moving on to the regular 3DS games. We have Bravely Default and Bravely Second End Layer. This one I bought sealed. This one is not because I got it used, but I have not played it. They are JRPG games. Haven't had a chance to bust them open. And recently Bravely Default 2 was announced, which was kind of confusing because I thought this was the second one. In any case, it was announced, so I guess I need to hurry myself along and at least play one of these so I can get the second one. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. And I really like this game. It's a pretty fun puzzle game. I've been enjoying playing it. And I was debating getting this on the Switch, but I think I'm just going to leave it on the 3DS since it's a pretty simple puzzle game. Cave Story 3D. I haven't played too much of this. I believe it's a 2D side-scroller is what it is. Yeah, again, haven't played too much of it. I heard it's great though. So from what I've played, it's fun. I liked it so far. Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate. Clearly you can see it's still sealed. I have not played it. I do enjoy the Castlevania games though. I love playing them. It's a lot of fun. They're a little tough sometimes, but I do like playing them. So at some point, I'm sure I'll get to this one. So many games in so little time. And we have ChibiRobo Zip Lash, which is sealed. I have not opened it. And I know this is a platforming game, I believe. Yeah, I think this was the platforming game. So it wasn't quite the ChibiRobo that was on the GameCube, which I love. So fun. I haven't played this, and I've heard that a lot of people don't really like it. So I might bust it open, check it out for myself, and see what it's actually all about. Code of Princess. And I like this game. I think it's pretty fun. It's a side-scrolling hack and slash beat 'em up with RPG elements, and I was having fun playing this. Haven't finished it, but I'm a fair bit of the way through. I think about halfway or so. But I like this game. I enjoy it. It's also out on the Switch. I was debating on getting it on the Switch also, but I think I might just leave it on the 3DS. Codename Steam. And I got this and it's sealed for dirt cheap. I think it was like $6 or $7. And I haven't played it yet. I believe it's a strategy game, so... And I'm not great at strategy games, so this will probably get around to way, way, way later. Dragon Quest VII, Fragments of the Forgotten Past. And yes, it's brand new sealed. I have not played it. Actually a recent pickup. And nope, I didn't pay $40 for it. I paid $20. So you really can't argue paying $20 for a game. That's pretty cool. But haven't played this yet. I don't think I've played any Dragon Quest game really. Well, NES, and I never finished that one. And then they called it Dragon Warrior back then, but I only had that first one. Ever Oasis, still sealed. And I don't think I paid $40 for this one either. Some of these I grabbed in stores, kind of like a super center that does grocery and electronics and everything all at once. So yeah, haven't played this yet. I think it's an RPG. Not totally sure. Not familiar with the series. Most of the games I buy and purchased, and if they're RPGs, I haven't really gotten around to them because I haven't had too much time to play RPGs lately, unfortunately. Fire Emblem Awakening. I have played a little bit of this and I really like it. I'm enjoying going through it. It's a lot of fun. I've heard some rave reviews about this one on the 3DS, so I had to pick it up and play it. And I wish I had time to finish it right now. But, you know, Fire Emblem games are pretty long and involved, so sometimes I just don't feel like playing long and involved games. Fire Emblem Warriors is kind of a hack and slash with some RPG, if I remember. I started playing a little bit of this and I kind of stopped after a little while. Got a little bored, honestly, and I never really got back into it, but at some point I hope to get back into this and maybe finish it. Another Fire Emblem Fates Conquest, and I think there's another one to this. Is it Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, I believe, and then I think there were some DLC or something. I'm not too familiar with the Fire Emblem games that came out afterwards, so yeah, I think these were the newer ones, or I don't remember. There's a bunch of Fire Emblem games on the 3DS. And I just started picking this up. This was another recent one. So, and I heard this was the harder one of the two. Birthright seemed to be a little bit easier. So eventually maybe I'll get that one and maybe start that one first. But I do enjoy the Fire Emblem games. They're pretty fun strategy games. Hyrule Warriors Legends. And this is still sealed. I have not busted it open. Pretty much the main reason I picked it up is because it has all the Zelda characters in it. So how could I not pick it up? Just had to have it. At some point I will fire this up and give it a go. Couple of Kirby games. Kirby Triple Deluxe. Pretty fun Kirby game. Going through it a little bit. Haven't beaten it though. And then Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, which is pretty interesting as you play as, you know, he's Yarn, which is a bit strange, but I didn't open this one. I did play through the demo a bit though. They had a demo before I actually purchased this, and I did like it. So it's pretty fun and interesting concept of yarn and stuff, and I know they've done it, I think, with Yoshi, but I like these two games, Kirby games. They're pretty fun. Legend of Legacy. I have no idea what this was. I think I remember picking it up pretty cheap. But I haven't played it yet, so I guess I don't have too much to say about it because I honestly cannot remember what that game is about. So I'm just going to put it on the pile. And the next few games are Legend of Zelda. So, Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask 3D, and Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D. I mean, great Zelda games. These two were originally on the N64, and so I decided to grab them because they're updated versions of the game. Had to have them. I love these games. They're great. And Link Between Worlds, I believe, is kind of homage to A Link to the Past. Yep, pretty much. So, A Link to the Past I love playing also, so I just kind of had to have all the Zelda games. Must have in a collection, at least in my opinion. Next, Luigi's Mansion: Dark Moon. And I haven't played too much of this one, but I love the Luigi's Mansion series. It's a lot of fun. Played the daylights out of the first one on the GameCube, and I'm still going through the one on the Switch, but I love Luigi's Mansion. It's a lot of fun to play. Mario Party: The Top 100. Pretty much a mashup of all the Mario Party games from all the, well, not all the Mario Party games. They kind of picked Mario Party games from each one in the series. I believe it's from 1 through 10, right? Yep, so 1 through 10, they picked a bunch of the best mini games. Still sealed, haven't played it yet, but I do love Mario Party games. I've played several in the series, and they're a lot of fun to play with friends. All right, here we go. Got a big pile. Mario and Luigi series. And we have Mario and Luigi: Bowser's Inside Story and Bowser Jr.'s Journey, Mario and Luigi Dream Team, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, and Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga and Bowser's Minions. So I have all of them that are on the 3DS, and I do like the Mario and Luigi series. It's a lot of fun to play, pretty fun RPG, and it's a shame that the developer of the Mario and Luigi series, I think they just declared bankruptcy not too long ago, so don't think we'll be seeing any more of those games, unfortunately. We have Metroid: Samus Returns, and this game is still sealed. And I know I've played a little bit of this game. I might have played the demo version of it a little bit. But I do love Metroid games. They're a lot of fun. A little tough, but they are a lot of fun to play. I have a bunch of them across several systems. New Super Mario Bros. 2. I mean, what's to say about it? It's a 2D side platforming game with, you know, Mario in it and Luigi. So, yeah, you know, not too much to say about it. I don't think I've played too much of this one. I think I played a bunch of the first one, though. Paper Mario Sticker Star. I love the Paper Mario series, and I've heard that this one isn't too great, but I still had to have it because I've been itching for a Paper Mario game to play since the GameCube, so I guess this one will just have to do. I haven't played too much of it. I kind of started it a little bit, and then it's been sitting. Kind of like a lot of my games. I know. Time is tough. We have Persona Q, Shadow of the Labyrinth, Persona Q2, New Cinema Labyrinth. And this one was one of the last ones, well, the last physical that was on the 3DS, so I had to grab it. And since I had the second one, I had to get the first one. So now I have both of them. They're both still sealed. At some point, I will get to these games, and I've never played a Persona game, so I'm pretty excited to see what these have to offer. Let me know what you think of the series. I heard it's got quite a fan base. All right, we have Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and Pokemon Omega Ruby. And these two games are remakes of the Game Boy Advance games. which I can't think of at the moment. I think they have slightly different names, but they're remakes of the Game Boy Advance games. And I grabbed them because I played a little bit of the Game Boy Advance games, so I decided to grab the 2 copies on the 3DS. And the only one I've busted open so far is Alpha Sapphire, and I don't think I finished it yet. But I'm not too huge of a Pokemon fan, but something familiar I just had to grab, so. And speaking of other Pokemon games, Pokemon Ultramoon and Pokemon Ultra Sun. And I know I just said I'm not really that big of a fan of Pokemon, but these 2 were like 20 bucks each, so I just grabbed them. I just had to grab them. And I don't have the new ones on the Switch, so I figured these were the next best ones to grab since I didn't want to pay full price, like 60 bucks for a Pokemon game. I'm not that big a fan of it, so I just didn't see paying that much for it, but that's me. And we have River City Rival Showdown. Haven't busted this open. I think I remember grabbing this on Amazon when it was like really cheap, so picked it up and I have not played it yet. And we have Shinobi. I don't think I've played too much of this game, but I mean, what is a Nintendo platform without Shinobi? So yeah, not too much to say about Shinobi. And Shovel Knight. And I did actually just grab the one on the Switch also because it's such a good game. I know, I got it twice just so I can play it on the other system as well. And I do plan on hanging on to this one because this one has the manual in it. And I know, you know, manuals are a thing of the past, but I do like them. And especially if you're paying, you know, 60 bucks for a game, it's kind of nice to have a little something included, you know, on the Switch and stuff. So I kept this one because this one has the manual in it. The one on the Switch has nothing except the game cartridge. Stella Glow. I have nothing to say about this one because I have not opened it yet. Sounded interesting to me. Strategy RPG with some maybe music elements in it. I have no idea, but sounded interesting, so I grabbed it and it wasn't too expensive. Super Mario 3D Land. Another Mario game. Not one of my favorites in the Mario series, but it's still a pretty fun game. Has the Tanuki suit in it, which is pretty cool. Homage to Super Mario 3. Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS. And yeah, haven't played too much of this because, you know, I play it by myself. But I used to play the N64 Super Smash Bros. A ton. One of my favorites, I'm sure, since it's the first one. I haven't played too many of the other entries. Yoshi's New Island. It's a Yoshi game. And I don't think I've played this one yet. I can't remember. I know I've played the Super Nintendo one, but I don't think I played the one on 3DS yet. And finally, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. And I did buy this sealed in the game store, but it's kind of starting to fall apart. So I might just have to bust it open. And I know I've heard the 3DS version of the game is kind of lacking a little bit because they had to pare it down because of the system constraints, but I still bought it. It wasn't too expensive, so I snagged it. Alright, that wraps up my 3DS games collection update video. If you have any suggestions for game pickups, please leave them in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the games that I have in my collection. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. Make sure you hit the bell notification, that way you receive alerts for when I post new videos. Be sure to check out my other gaming videos, unboxings, more collection videos, and some news updates from time to time. As always, thanks for watching, and have a good one.